Welcome to the next Premiere Pro Quick Tips. Let's get started. Let's talk about just the basic mechanics of editing in this interface. As I talked about before, it's really quite easy if you want to move a window to be able to grab the window by touching here and then dragging it, and it allows you to move a window from one space to another. You can also change the size of the windows by moving your cursor over the border between two, and you can make things larger or smaller. You can also close windows that you're not using. For example, I won't be using metadata at this point in time. I won't be using Clip Mixer. I won't be using the source window. Libraries. A lot of these I just won't be using right now. I can always open them back up if I need them, but for now I'm just going to close them down to avoid some of the clutter. So now we're in this project and we want to be able to play media. The transport controls for the timeline are down here, where there is an arrow for playing, for moving one frame at a time. To be honest, I almost never use those transport controls. It's too hard trying to hit play and stop, and it gets really mechanical. I like to use two-handed editing. And the way I do that is I have a mouse, or in this case, a trackball, and I leave my right hand on this, and my left hand I place on the keyboard. And the keys that will play your timeline are J, K, and L. L plays forward, K pauses, and J plays backwards.
Yeah.
So,
here's some tips or techniques that people should be aware of.
L, K to pause,
All right, well, you shall be listening.
J. The fun thing is that the more times I hit it, the faster it goes.
Techniques that people should be aware of.
When snowshoeing is basically just like walking, where you have to for a parking lot, you have to
And it allows me to quickly play media just by using J, K, and L. And I just rest my hand right here on the keyboard so that I'm not having to hunt for it. The other key that's really helpful is the space bar is all stop or play.
on those snowshoes. So having a little extra.
And that affords us the opportunity to, if we're playing along, we can just smack the space bar and stop the media really quickly. To navigate in the timeline up here in the ribbon, the time ribbon up above, I can just place my cursor up on these hash marks and click, and this blue line called the playhead will jump to wherever my cursor is. I can also click and drag the playhead to get where I want to be. And so a lot of times I'll just scrub through looking for something and go, oh, that looks good.
Catch those and fall. But other than that, it's
And then use J, K, and L to navigate. When you have a big timeline, sometimes it's hard to find where you are. The minus key and the plus key allow you to zoom out, that's the minus key, or zoom in, that's the plus key. So a lot of times, rather than going to zoom in using the zoom tool, I'll just hit the plus key and the minus key, and that allows me to quickly go here. And I'll go, oh, I want to zoom in here. Now I can see where I
have
am.
to.
Great. Are there other
And I can rock back and forth to find the beginning of this question. If I want to see more detail on this track, looking here in this track, if I double click here to the right of the microphone, it expands the track automatically so that I can see in greater detail the waveform of the audio on that track. So that's a real quick way. You can also hover your cursor just below the track, pull down, and that will also expand the track. So we have a basic idea of how to navigate, and it will make a world of difference if you use JKL to navigate in your timeline and in your source media, and it'll make a world of difference in creating a more efficient experience when editing. Hope this helps.
Great. Are there other cities? Are there